What's going on, y'all, and happy Wednesday. I hope everybody out there is feeling fantastic. So let's go ahead and jump all over this R. Kelly situation. So R. Kelly's lawyers have substantial proof that there's a deletion for hire plot against R. Kelly in a North Carolina penitentiary where he's serving his 30-year sentence. Now, according to reports, this plot on R. Kelly's life is being spearheaded by prison officials along with an inmate who happens to be the leader of the Aryan Brotherhood. Now, his name is McKeel Glenn Stein, and he's a terminally ill inmate, but again, he's the leader of the Aryan Brotherhood, and he basically snitched and said that authorities offered him his freedom to spend his last days on the outside in exchange for deleting R. Kelly. Now, I want you guys to pay close attention on how this wicked plot was supposed to go down. So Stein was going to delete R. Kelly, and then prison officials was going to actually step in and fumble the evidence and ultimately bury the case. Stein also claims that an official said that he could be transferred after doing the deed and he would be allowed to escape and stay free. Now, initially, Stein was ready to carry out this hit. He actually went to R. Kelly's housing area back in March, only to turn back around at the last minute, and he actually snitched on the Bureau of Prisons officials, detailing that they were the ones that actually ordered the hit. And he even approached R. Kelly personally to tell him what went down, and he also said that he will take a polygraph test. And so this is a really dynamic situation because now another member of the Aryan Brotherhood has been instructed to delete both Kelly and Stein, according to reports. So they want to get rid of Stein for snitching on the prison officials, and they want to take out R. Kelly at the same time. So because of these drastic chain of events, R. Kelly moved to file an emergency motion for prison release because he's saying basically that the NAZIS are trying to delete him. Now, I will say that it's very interesting that Stein did not carry out this plot because given the nature of the Aryan Brotherhood, they are very racist, and it's nothing for them to get rid of anybody that does not look like them. And the fact that he kind of had a guilty conscience right before he was going to do it, and he actually turned back around and told R. Kelly about it, is extremely puzzling to me because normally that's not how the Aryan Brotherhood operates. They normally execute the mission, or at least try to. So this man is terminally ill. Maybe he felt like he didn't want to live the rest of his days with that on his conscience, and that's why he squealed. But at the end of the day, R. Kelly better thank his lucky stars. I don't think they're going to let him out of prison. They'll just transfer him to another facility. But anyway, let's move right along. And I want to revisit the horrific story about these two YouTubers that had been beefing for quite some time. And this past Sunday night, a guy by the name of Manny actually deleted a fellow YouTuber along with his wife. There's a couple of updates. I have a video of Manny actually appearing in front of a judge. And then there's a couple people that are going into depth about what transpired and the nature of this whole horrific accident. I want you guys to take a look at this, and I'll be back.
Good morning, Mr. Ruiz. You were arrested for 2 counts of open of a death. The court did find probable cause existed for your arrest. You need to hear from the district attorney's office today, and then hear from the public defender.
Your Honor, it's the state's understanding the public defender would like to pass this to the department.
That is correct, Your Honor. I would like our homicide team to handle this case personally, so we're asking for 2 days to the department.
So, Mr. Ruiz, this court will be holding you on no bail. I am going to send your case to the department that will ultimately be hearing your case going forward. And you will have your Valdez and Menace hearing at that point. That court date will be
June 12 at 8:30 in Department 14.
Thank you.
So let me give you an update on this clown right here. Las Vegas shooter and YouTuber, Sin City Manny, or Vegas Manny, however you want to put it. He had his first appearance today with the judge, and the first thing out of his mouth was, this was all in self-defense. Come on. This incident was live streamed by the wife of the YouTuber that he took out. There's a video of him prior to this, of him looking all over different casinos for the YouTuber that he unalived. But he's claiming this was self-defense. One of the claims of the other YouTuber during their 2-year-long feud was that this guy was not all right in the head. he had mental illness, and that sent this guy over the edge. But it seems like the claims were right on, because this guy is not right. And that's why he claims self-defense when there's nobody was attacking him. They were doing a live stream when he came up and started. But in his head, it was self-defense. They're probably going to throw the book at this guy, which is well deserved. And it's good to have him off the streets of Las Vegas, because I think we can all feel a little safer that he won't be on them.
I want to start by saying rest in peace to Finney and his wife. I hope Manny get life in prison for premeditated murder. But it's not just his fault. It's his wife's fault. It's his friends and all them other dudes that was in his YouTube videos listening to him say he want to unalive you, egging them on. They saying stuff too, asking if you want to be buried alive or cremated. He talking about he want to to your mom. That's how he was getting those strikes you was giving him. You even said, oh man, I don't want to give him another strike on his account. He lose his account, he might off himself because he crazy. You knew someone right with him. And it's not like he was you online and just leaving it out there. Y'all were going live together. He was you personally. You knew what he was saying because he was saying it directly to you. And you still underestimated the enemy. You still took him as a joke. You wasn't afraid of him. And it's okay, you didn't have to be afraid of him. But you also did not have to tell that man you was coming to Las Vegas. That man got in his car and was driving around in the daytime telling you he was looking for you. He was going to be wherever you was at. He was asking where you was going to be at and asking you to drop your location. And you went live on the strip. Knowing this man is obsessed with you. Knowing this man wasn't mentally right. And he pulled up to where you was at with your wife. And he unalived y'all both because you underestimated the enemy. And I feel like y'all was looking for a viral moment. I feel like y'all wanted to take this beef to another level and catch something on camera and go viral off of it. But he was already defeated. He wasn't there to play games. He was in the videos on YouTube saying, he's better than us. We already lost. He's better than us. Telling his friend that. This is a 40-year-old man feeling defeated. And I just want to say, at y'all age, this showed a lot of immaturity and ignorance. And I feel like y'all could have been way better examples. But now y'all just an example of what not to do and who not to be. And this is truly sad.
All right, so you guys just heard all of that. This is a very sad situation. I gave my opinion on this yesterday, and it just seems like this all happened over a bunch of BS. I mean, they were being petty towards one another, striking each other's channel, and it just came to an absolute head, and things went terribly left. And again, I just want to reiterate that I feel like Finney should have stayed in Arizona. You should have never brought your wife there. If you really wanted to see this man and you wanted to go to his city, take you and your goons along with you to go to Las Vegas and settle the score. And on top of that, I'm hearing allegedly that there are people that are looking for Manny's wife. So she's probably running in fear too, because people are now trying to get her for what Manny did to Finney and his wife. So this situation is just terrible. But anyway, let's move along, and I want to talk about Jane Doe as it pertains to the Diddy trial. So they're saying that Jane Doe had a moment in the courtroom yesterday. I want you guys to check out these clips, and I'll be back.
All right, the courtroom just got so hot and heavy with some sass between the Jane Doe and the defense attorney that Jane Doe asked to take a break. Whew, you guys. So Jane Doe admits that she was jealous of Young Miami because Diddy took her to the Chanel store and got her a Chanel bag. Tenny asks Jane Doe, so you didn't get a Chanel bag? She goes, no, I only got trauma. Tenny said, well, hold on a second. What about a Bottega bag? Because apparently she got a Bottega bag at one point. So she doesn't really say anything. So then Tenny says, can you tell us what's a Bottega bag? And Jane Doe literally goes, I'm sure you have one. How we all gasped. So then Tenny goes, how much does the Bottega bag cost? Jane says, how much does my body cost? Then,
so let me get this straight. Diddy hired the lawyer for Jane Doe and is paying for that lawyer still, and is still paying Jane Doe's $10,000 a month rent. Patriots, what are we doing here? What do you guys think about this? I mean, look, I get a lot of flack. People are like, Sam, what are you? You said you were no Diddy. Now are you go Diddy? No Diddy. His behavior towards women in relationships, I would not, look, date Diddy if you're somebody who can handle having S with different dudes and being filmed and having him in the corner, you know, smacking the racketilly pan. You know what I mean? The rigatoni, if you know what I mean. If you're cool with that, call Diddy. If you're not, this is hard. I mean, these women were, it's just, I'm trying to give you guys the real of what's going on here. But I have to say, when you hear things that he's still, why is he paying for her legal lawyer to put him in jail for the rest of his life? Or a civil case. I mean, does anybody understand what's going on? I'm just trying to give this to you front and down the center, guys. But this thing, it's weird. Okay, it's like splitting up a pie and there's square pieces. Like, what happened here?
All right, y'all, I am just leaving the courtroom, and let me tell you something, baby. It was a hell of a day. When I tell you Jane Doe just flipped the freaking house like Big Brother, flipped it upside down, and I think this is a big dent for the prosecution. What it did to me was a psychological play, at least for me, to show that there are some aspects of her where she is not a victim. When I tell you she exploded on that witness stand, and let me tell you, honey, Young Miami, you are a trigger for her. That girl got so riled up about hearing and seeing you get a Chanel bag, baby. I'll see y'all a little bit later. We are going to talk about it. I will see you soon.
All right, so you guys just saw and heard all of that, and it's just weird. This is a very weird situation. This is a circus of a trial. How in the hell is Diddy paying for her lawyer, paying her rent and things of that nature, and she's up there testifying against him? I just don't understand this, right? This is crazy, and it doesn't look good for the prosecution. Now, it doesn't mean that this thing is over, because at the end of the day, the prosecution could be holding something in the stash to blow this whole case out of the water, but it just seems like this trial is just so unserious that it's just a clown show, and it's really getting tiring, to be honest, because at the end of the day, I just don't see anything sticking, and that's what I'm looking for, something to actually stick. It seems as though that people are just throwing spaghetti to the wall and hoping that it sticks, but I just don't see anything that will railroad Diddy to the point where he's going to go to prison for 15 to 20 years. But anyway, I'm going to let this go right here. I want you guys to drop down in the comments and let me know what you think about everything I discussed within this video. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and if you're new here, consider subbing to the channel. I'll get with you guys later. Peace.